welcome back again. I'd just like to come back to you, Bernie, and get you to just continue the conversation we had before we had the break about what happened for you when you first arrived into this process.
Yeah, that was. I wouldn't say it was scary, but it was very different. It was unfamiliar ground for me because it's always that fear of the unknown. You don't know what you're getting yourself in for. Man, ain't that true? All in a good way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember thinking, I tend to internalise a lot of my fears, and I did very much so that day. And I said before, we all sat there along in a row, and we were too scared to look at each other, But I knew that, as I spoke earlier, that it was just a process that was so familiar to me, and I just kept telling myself, you're meant to be here, this is where you've been led to be. And it was, for me, it was about trusting my instincts and feeling that fear and doing it. And I have to say, it's the biggest step I've ever made in my whole life, but it was the right step.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just feel so passionate about it. I sometimes get quite emotional about it because it is very rewarding, and it's everything. It's everything to me. Just not only for me from a personal point of view, but to see how you can work with other people and help them and allow them the opportunity to resolve things in their lives and get answers and resolutions to problems or thought patterns that can be sort of entangled and they don't know quite where to go with it or what it's about. It's
or ailments. There's all sorts of
yeah.
things. Isn't there?
It's endless.
Yeah.
And I just it's what we're all meant to be doing. And it feels really good now. I look back on that fear and I laugh, and sort of laughing, going, oh my God, that first day.
Yeah.
But when I look at how far all three of us have come, and I mean the opportunity to work with these three amazing women has just been, huge for me. And I believe that we were all put here together for a reason, because we do all sort of feed off each other. And I can't remember which one of you said that, working together as a team has just been so amazing.
Yeah. And that's going to continue because we have to, because we are a team, and we
learn off each other.
Oh,
because,
we're always learning.
I don't know it all by any stretch of the imagination,
but
but it's really good to have that support of the three of you.
And it's fun.
Yeah,
we have a lot of fun.
We have a lot of laughs.
Yeah. And we still do.
Oh yes, I think I gained 20 pounds starting this journey.
Don't do this course, we want to be on a diet.
Doesn't work.
Chocolate biscuits and things like that. Thank you.
Feed the soul.
Thank you, ladies. That was great. One of the other things that have come up through this whole process is that the guides gave me part of this process many years ago when I first sort of had my big out-of-body experience and began my process of understanding. And they kept saying the words to me, remember who you are, remember who you are. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what that means at this level. At the level I was at, it meant what it meant at the time, but as the years have gone by, from 88 to now, it's become so many other things. And now it has become this work, remember who you are. And for me, and for all of us to be able to help someone to remember, because all it is remembering, isn't it? It's getting through all that dross and everything and the amnesia of this life, and we all have amnesia when we come here. To open up our connection to our soul, and we're already connected, but sort of push all that mind stuff out of the way and just clearly connect. And then to be able to go back and look at where we've lived before and what we've done, and go into spirit and meet our fellow souls in spirit and have that beautiful reunions. Haven't we had some wonderful reunions with people who've passed from a life and gone into spirit, and there's just that they change visibly when they go there and find their way into spirit, and then meet their guides and their counsels. But the other thing that's come out of this, which I just love it so much, is that aren't these counsellors and these guides so excited and so delighted that they're finally able to have the attention of their subject or their fellow soul, but also they so want to share with us. You know, hasn't that been so beautiful, some of the things that have come through, the wisdom that's been brought through all of us in our regressions, in our LightPath journeys, and in the LightPath journeys of the people that we've worked with. They love the opportunity to be able to speak. And I also think that the reunions that have taken place with people who've passed, to be able to see them again, that's been beautiful too, and healing, isn't it, for the person, the journeyer, the LightPath journeyer, you know. So, you know, isn't that great? I mean, but how have you felt that with the guides and the counsels about how they just want to speak? If we get them there, when we do, and they go there and the spirit, and then they meet with their counsels, and you know, some of the stuff that all of the stuff that comes out, it's just mind blowing, isn't it?
It's a privilege.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, but it's also our right. You know, it's our right to have that connection, I believe, and not in any sort of righteous sort of ego way, but it is part of our right as a soul to be able to have those connections and to have them here, which I think is so neat. So from all that, from what the times that we've taken people and they've had these really strong connections with their counsels. Is there any one thing that comes out? We've got a couple of minutes left in this segment, but is anything that comes out for you that stands out for you that you remember?
For me, I used to feel quite that. I mean, it's a very sacred place, and I almost, I guess you'd call it being very humbled by it, and because it was so sacred, I always sort of put it up here. But once we got in there, and I remember one regression that I did, and I was presented before my counsel, and they all had these crazy crowns and things on, and I remember thinking, what is going on here? And I remember thinking, oh my God, they're all kings and queens, and they're all so much higher than me. And then they all took their crowns off and just rolled over laughing, you know. And it really sort of, it was them teaching me that I don't need to place things on a pedestal, that you know, they are my equals, even though from an earthly plane I still feel that they are so sacred, and we are very honoured to be in their presence.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just them bringing it all down to reality, and yeah, it's so cool.
And they have a sense of humour. They have
They
a real
do.
sense of humour,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah, that's what they showed me, that it's just...
I think one of the things that
fun.
stood out for me was just amazing. One of the regressions that we did with one of the ladies who came and was a subject in the beginning, and I took her in and you observed, and they talked about power with love. You know, using our power with love, and you see the people using their power without love. You know, that to me was just that was just like yes, and I felt able to go on then and actually do some work on that with people and teach from that perspective, because as soon as they said it, I said, I remember that now. I'd forgotten that, and that's all we're doing is remembering. It was really powerful for me. It was powerful for her. It changed her whole family, didn't it? The dynamics of her family
too. You know, that's one that we've
Yeah.
remembered. It's stuck in our minds for.
That was her lesson, but it was also came through the
ours
council. Well, it always is, isn't it? Whatever we're learning when we go through there and work with people is this beautiful information, this wonderful spiritual information that we all benefit from. How can you not, when you're tapping into something at such a high level and getting it directly from a person's mouth? It's like from the source through the mouth, you know. So yeah, amazing. Is there anything else that you remember from the counsels or the guides for yourself, or even your own visits with your counsels? Anything that comes to mind?
I think mainly just the channeled messages, because like you said, the one about the power with love, and then long after that we got one about an energy change and how there'll be this gap in the energy and the changes that people would have to make. That come really fast.
It's still happening.
It's still happening, but it's so
ascension
true.
process, yes.
And so many people with having been given that information here, and even though I don't understand it all I've had so many people come in us, and I can say, well, actually, this is what's happening for you, and go and explore this option or that option, and they come back, yes, it just makes sense.
Yeah, so we've had lots of lovely insights and information.
So,
Yeah, great. We're going to take a break, and we're going to finish up shortly, but we're back shortly with more insights.
When you have your first child, you know, you think, right, you've got this routine going, and then all of a sudden, bang, something changes.
As far as the night, yes, as far as that, it was great, because that relaxation was just lovely.
Give yourself permission,
Yeah, that. As far as